Hello, everybody. This is Mr. Kimball. This is a video specifically made for freshmen, specifically covering the week of January 13th through the 17th. I wanted to share with you a different screen this time instead of my overall screen that has all three classes on it. I wanted to show specifically for parents what my lesson plan document looks like. This is the lesson plan document that I've shared with you, real similar to what we had first semester. But for those of you who might be new to the class, this is something I like to do as an accountability step. I like to share my lesson plan so you know pretty much what's going on in class every day. So I wanted to talk you through kind of the general overview, like how I organize, what the colors mean, and then hone in on this week's material. So first of all, the way this is organized, on the far left, you have all of the dates, by the day of the week, by the calendar date, the week of school, like week 22. And then if there's information from the district calendar, that is also listed here through too. So if you scroll down, Martin Luther King Day is listed on there, District Institute, Pulaski's President's Day. So the district calendar is already there are days that we're off school. It's already listed according to our district calendar there. That's pretty straightforward. And then I have it divided into our writing material, our literature material, and our no red ink material. And that's exactly how our gradebook is separated too, by those three categories. So I thought it would be good to go ahead and organize my lesson plans the same way that our gradebook is organized. So writing, literature, and no red ink. And then finally, the colors. If it is in orange, that means it's either hanging over the student's head or it's something that I have not solidified in my lesson plan, in my organization. So if it's in orange, that's kind of that, you're just kind of looking at it to see what I'm thinking about. Maybe it's something that you need to think about students in your future. But if it's orange, it's not necessarily set in stone yet. I do want to talk about that real quickly. So I want you to understand it is a lesson plan document. So it frequently may change based on the pace of the class and what students, if, for example, if no red ink, if students are really struggling with that, we can extend some of those lessons a little bit longer so I can change how it's organized. But for the most part, if it's in black, that means it's pretty much set in stone and that's how we're going to pace our class. But at any time that I need to make adjustments based on student needs, then I absolutely can. But within a few days, within the week, it should be pretty much solid. Okay. Hopefully that all makes sense. So orange just means it's either hanging over your head or it's something that I'm thinking about. I have not set it in stone yet. If the color is black, that means that I've pretty much made a decision and I want to move forward in that direction. Okay. So specifically, our writing material for this unit. Students are going to be writing an analytical paper, and it's based on morals. So as we read To Kill a Mockingbird, and I'll talk about that in a second, then one of our primary conversations is going to be about the morals and the decisions that people make and the consequences that are a result of those decisions. We'll be talking about that quite a bit as we go through To Kill a Mockingbird. And the reason it's in orange for the first few weeks is because it's just kind of hanging over their heads. They need to be aware that it's coming. And then if you scroll down a couple of weeks, on January 28th, it will actually be assigned. So I went ahead and changed it to black. That means they know that they are going to be writing their paper on morals starting January 28th. And the due date is posted there. It is going to be due on February 6th, on the Thursday. So they'll have about 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks, to work on their paper that's at the end of the reading unit. Okay. So we'll go up to the literature section. We are going to be reading the book called To Kill a Mockingbird. It's one of the favorite books on campus. And of course, it's a classic literature piece, and it's one that shows up quite a bit in English classes at the freshman or sophomore level. So To Kill a Mockingbird is going to be assigned. Students will get their books that day on Monday. They will also be able to take those out of the classroom. So I'm going to ask them to stay on top of the reading schedule. I'll talk about that in just a second. But they're going to receive To Kill a Mockingbird, and they're going to be expected to follow the schedule that is here. I also need you to understand that there are supplemental materials through StudySync that are going to be assigned, and you'll want to pay attention to both when they're assigned and when they are due, because parents and students, they need to know that I'm going to hold them to those due dates. And since they're already posted and it's in black, they know that they need to have those assignments done either before or at least on those due dates. So specifically for this week, I'm going to assign 2 different StudySync assignments, and they're going to be due a couple of different days. So the first one is called I Am Scout. It's a biography of Harper Lee. That's going to be due on Wednesday, the 14th by 3 o'clock. So by the end of class. On Tuesday, they're going to be assigned another assignment. It's called In His Skin. And that's going to be due also on Wednesday, the 14th by 3 o'clock. Those are both short assignments. It's a short little reading with 5 questions that they're going to have to answer each. So a total of 10 questions. The reading is less than 200 words, I believe. So short and sweet, but enough to be an introduction to the text. And it won't be so overwhelming knowing that they have to do some work on reading the novel on top of the StudySync stuff. On Wednesday, you see it says due today, 2 StudySync assignments, I Am Scout and In His Skin. So those due dates are posted there. So again, those are going to be set in stone. Students need to make sure that they go get those turned in before the end of class on Wednesday. Thursday then will be primarily just another reading day of the novel. And then Friday, I will assign another assignment called We Shall Not Be Moved. And the due date is posted there. It's due on Monday. So a little bit of homework over the weekend. But again, these supplemental assignments are really not labor intensive. It's a little bit of reading and answering maybe a handful of questions. I'm not going to assign the extra writing assignments on top of the reading. I think that's too much. But the supplemental materials just help students understand and get a connection to other pieces of text. Okay. Now, as far as no red ink for the week, we've already taken our MAP test. We've already taken our pre-test, and we are breaking down the skills. So just like we did first semester, especially early on first semester, every week will be a new set of skills. And we're going to start with commas for clarity. And we will be talking at least Monday and Tuesday about those specific practice assignments, and they'll have a little bit of class time to work on them, but they are preparing for a quiz on commas for clarity on Friday. So students need to be aware that is the skill, and the quiz will be on Friday in class. So kind of a lot going on. I'm pushing the students a little bit. I want to see if I can accelerate the pace a little bit. And yes, I'm moving my face over there. Apologize. I'm accelerating the pace. I want to see how they do as I push them a little bit with the expectations of class. The reading schedule, I went ahead and added in the additional comments and links. So I'm asking students to read 2 chapters per day. So every day you see that it is listed, even through the weekend, they can read. And then there are 31 chapters in the book. My initial goal is to have the novel read by January 28th. And that'll give us plenty of time to write the paper and possibly complete some fishbowl types of assignments at the end, just different things that we'll be working on in addition to reading and the StudySync. Okay, so that's it. That's pretty much it for the week of January 13th through the 17th. Also gives you a brief introduction to this entire document. Please understand this does exist. I am encouraging you to check this out as often as possible, especially if a student is absent because of athletic events. I do meet this class 8th hour, so some of my students who are athletes are going to be leaving quite a bit. So this is the document that they will need to check on to see what's going on in class. And then, of course, they'll check their Skyward or they'll check their Google Classroom to make sure there's nothing posted as far as where they need to submit their assignments. Okay. So parents, hopefully this is a benefit to you so you know what's going on in class. That's the primary reason I'm doing this. If you do need to get a hold of me, you know that you have access to my email. You can contact me through Remind messages. And of course, the Skyward messaging system is always available too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a fantastic day. Students,